Good morning. So yesterday, our last full day in Cadaqués, we pretty much just took it easy. We stayed in our hotel probably a third of the day. We went out for lunch. We went out for a lovely dinner. We had gelato. I mean, we just enjoyed the town.
Yeah, it was nice. We had a little evening where we kind of put our toes in the water a little bit and just took in our last night. It was really nice. And then we slept instead of packing. So we got up really early to pack. Now we're at the bus station to get to Figueres, to take a train to Madrid, to take a train to Seville.
And that's where we'll be spending the next, I guess, 4 days in Seville, Spain.
It's currently 6:47 and we should arrive in Seville a little after 4 p.m. today.
Long travel day. That was tough. So we got into the bus station in Figueres, and it's on the other side of the town from where the train station is that we had to be at. And we had 30 minutes because the bus was late, and we had to lug our suitcases, backpacks, and a duffel bag all the way across town on a cobblestone, like crazy roads, up hills.
We made it. I feel a little bad because we're in first class, stinking like recess, as my mom would say. But what are you gonna do? There's supposed to be breakfast included on this, so I'm excited about that. And we're just gonna chill because we've made the hardest part of the journey today. And now we just need to take this train to Madrid, catch a quick change of platform in Madrid, and then on to Seville, and it'll all be worth it. But man, that was my workout for like a week.
Yeah, I don't want to do that again. And I haven't had my coffee. I need my coffee.
I will say there's a bus that'll take you from, like a city bus, from the bus station to Villafranca train station. We just didn't have time for that. Like it would have been pushing it.
Yeah.
Still.
No risk.
Okay, we made it into Madrid from Figueres. Now we've got about 20 minutes to get across the station to our train onto Seville. That'll take a few more hours and then we'll be there. Okay, we made it. I thought we were going to the train was late, but we ended up having plenty of time. We even got some snacks. We're on the train, everything's good. We're going on to Seville.
So we just got to the Airbnb here in Seville, Spain, after a pretty long travel day. So it's 5:30 p.m. here in Seville, and we left the hotel in Cadaqués at 6:30 a.m. So we've been traveling now for 11 hours. And so now here we are, finally settled in to our Airbnb.
We're gonna probably sit for just a minute, get connected to the Wi-Fi, and then head out, grab some groceries, bring them back, get settled in, grab some dinner, and just kind of have a calm evening before we hit it tomorrow. It's practically a palace. After staying in Barcelona in what was essentially a closet the size of a double bed, and then a little hotel, this is practically palatial. It's gorgeous. Good afternoon. It is our first full day in Sevilla, Spain. We've had a slow morning, kind of hanging out, This Airbnb we've got is a great spot and it's just made us feel very homey, so we want to spend a lot of time here, but we're finally getting out. We're gonna grab a bite of lunch at La Habanita, and then we're gonna just walk around the day exploring, see the Plaza de Espana and one of the parks nearby, and I think a little church with the tower. And then tomorrow the plan is to go to the
Real Alcazar?
Yeah, Real Alcazar, the royal palace thing with the gardens. That should be beautiful. So let's go get some lunch. Okay, we made it to Habanita for lunch, and I've ordered arroz y frijoles, black beans and rice, and yucca with this garlic sauce. It is like punch you in the face, fresh garlic, and I love it because I find that some of the food that we've been traveling through can be a little plain. I'm used to very spicy things or very punchy flavors, and this has that. It is just really good. I'm pumped.
Here at the main cathedral in Seville, and behind me is what today is known as the bell tower next to the main cathedral. And what it actually is, or was in the past, is a Islamic mosque.
Alright, we made this short walk down to El Cathedral de Seville, and we're out in the plaza, and there's a gorgeous fountain and a big, very sort of imposing, dramatic church cathedral just to my right. And I was just thinking, like, Seville sort of in ways reminds me of Barcelona, but smaller and has this more quaint element, even though Seville itself is quite large. It's just got this element to it that's very charming, very sort of, it's literally warm here, but it feels kind of warm in spirit. I'm really liking it. I just wanted to share that thought with you. Don't you just wonder when you see places this old and this grand, like when it was first built, it was just a church. I mean, everybody who lived here probably went and worshipped there. And now it's like this monument, this like spot you have to go see. But at one time it was just like a place of worship that happened to be extremely elaborate. And I always wonder what it was like at that time when it functioned solely as church. I don't know. These are the things I ponder when we go to different monuments. That's how I work. We have just taken a quick stroll through the Parque de María Luisa to end up here in the Plaza de Espana. We are going to stroll around and see what it has to offer. This Plaza de Espana was built, I believe, in the 1920s for the World's Fair. It's pretty impressive, really beautiful, and we're just going to enjoy the sunny afternoon and take in the sights.
verde. Malaveroso verde tiene tan verde mirar, que más tranquilo lo pierde. Tiene tan verde mirar, que más tranquilo lo pierde.
Did y'all see how gorgeous that was? How passionate that was? We were walking along the Plaza de Espana and came upon a group of buskers doing a flamenco dance. And we've been wanting to see flamenco because it's from here in this region of Sevilla or Cadiz in the south of Spain. It was gorgeous. I just loved it. From what I've read, flamenco originated here in this area and started, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it started with the gypsies, and I know that's kind of a iffy terminology, but that's what I read. Gypsy culture, who were sort of expressing their emotions, their woes over their life and how they were treated, and words just couldn't express it, and so they expressed it via dance, and that's how flamenco started. And it was often in bars and kind of in the community gathering areas. So anyway, that was just super gorgeous and impromptu, and I loved it. We're finally getting out for the day. I'm gonna grab some lunch before we head to Alcazar later. And then I think this afternoon we're gonna go explore the Barrio Santa Cruz. So right now we're heading into La Cantina Mexicana because we're Texans and we're always missing Mexican food. We're gonna grab some food, head out, and have a day. So we just left lunch at La Cantina Mexicana here in Sevilla, Spain, and I'd say the review is fine. We're from Texas. Everybody has their expectations of what Mexican food is or Tex-Mex, and they did their very best. The chips were good, the guacamole was acceptable. Our chief complaint is that in Spain throughout, they just don't like spicy food, and we really love spicy food, so we are just dying for something spicy. Didn't find that here, but that's okay. It was such a cute place. The margaritas looked really yummy. I wish I'd had one. But anyway, now we are on to Real Alcazar. For the rest of the day, we're gonna check that out and then maybe head around Barrio Santa Cruz.
We tried booking online yesterday to get our tickets, but we were unable to. It wouldn't take our credit card for some reason. So now we're here, and we have to wait in this really long line.
The lines seem to be the same for with or without booking, so I don't think it matters. We've walked through a good portion of the Real Alcazar in Seville. A few facts about it. It is a royal palace, one of the oldest still in use in all of Europe. The upper levels are still used by the royal family here in Seville. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is sort of renowned for the housing of all the different heritage and culture and the evolution of those over time. There's a ton of Muslim and Islamic influence here. It was originally a Muslim building, and then the Christians came and tore it down, and the new Christian king built this palace here. cost for 2 people was €23 to get in, and that's just the general admission, no tours, no anything. And what Jordan and I think, or at least what I think, is this place would be far more interesting with a tour guide and some context. The facilities themselves give you very little context. There's a few placards here and there. The translation for English isn't like perfect, and so there's just not a ton where you're actually able to appreciate what it is because you don't fully know. So I really recommend at least doing the audio guide that they have. It all costs extra. You can also go with the actual tour guide. You know, choose whatever your budget allows. We opted for none of it, and I really think it would have been helpful so that we would know what we're looking at and maybe be able to appreciate it a little bit more. But all in all, it's a really beautiful place. The gardens are lovely, and the mixture of sort of European and Islamic styles, it's really interesting. It is. It's just maybe a little more context would be helpful. Want to paddle me around the moat? How romantic.